Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 3.5 Notes, Day 1. Today our learning target is to be able to substitute values into a formula, and find the value of unknown variables. So what we're going to be doing today is substitute given variables, and we're also going to be using SADMAP to help us solve. So I hope you guys are ready to get started. Number 1 says the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Area is 30, base is 8. We need to find the h. So pretty much what this is saying, here's our triangle. We know that the area equals 30. We know the base is 8. We don't know what the height is, so that's what we're going to try to find out. So using this formula right here, we know that area is 30, and that's 1/2 base, which is 8, times h. Okay? So let's start going through. 30 equals 1/2 of 8 is 4. And then to solve, you divide both sides by 4. Okay? Now, 30 divided by 4. So 30 over 4. You can reduce that fraction by dividing by 2, and you get 15 over 2. So 15 over 2 equals h. Okay? Now, if you wanted to, you could actually divide 15 by 2, and we can get a decimal. 2 does not go into 1, but it goes into 15 7 times. Up. We don't do remainders here. Okay, so let's put the decimal up. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Okay, so the height is 15 over 2, or 7.5, and we have to make sure to label that since they don't give us a unit. We're just going to call those units. Okay? All right, number 2 says the area of a trapezoid, and it gives us the formula. Area is 21, base 1 is 10, base 2 is 4, and we need to find the h. So let's draw just a little picture in case you guys forgot what a trapezoid looks like. So the area equals 21. Base 1 is 10. There's 4, and we're trying to find h. Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing as we did in the last one. Just plug everything in. 21 equals 1/2 h, and that's 10 plus 4. Okay? 1/2 h, and that gives us 14. And the nice thing about multiplication is you can multiply in any order you want to. 1/2 of 14 is 7. And now divide both sides by 7. We get that the height is 7 units. Not 7, guys. What's 21 divided by 7? 3. Okay? Not too bad, is it? Let's read the next one. A soccer field is in the shape of a rectangle, and it has an area of 9,000 yards squared. Okay, the length is 120. What is the width? So let's draw the soccer field real quick. There's our soccer field. There's nice, beautiful green grass in there. So we know that the area is 9,000. The length is 120. We need to find the width. So one of the things that you need to know, area of a rectangle, length times width. The area is 9,000 the length is 120, and we're looking for the width. So I'm going to divide by 120 to solve for the variable. Now, off to the side, we have 9,000 over 120. How do we do that? Well, there's a trick where we can eliminate the zeros like that. And now we just have to do long division for 900 divided by 12. And this is where you're going to need your multiplication charts, okay? 12 does not go into 9, but 12 goes into 90 7 times, and that gives us 84, okay? Subtract, we get 6. Bring down the 0, 12 goes into 60 5 times, and we're done. So the width of the soccer field is 75, and they told us what the units were, okay? So 75 yards. Okie dokie. The area of a rectangular room is 270 feet squared. Find the length when the width is 15 feet. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to set up a little picture. We know the area is 270. The width is 15. We need to find the length. So length times width. 270 equals 15L. Remember, the number always comes first. And I want you guys to do the rest of this. Okay, so let's pause the video and see how you do. Okay, and when you go through everything, you divided both sides by 15. Off to the side over here, I did all of my side work. 270 divided by 15 by using my multiplication chart. 15 goes into 27 one time. Subtract, you get 120, bring down to the 0, and 15 goes into 120 8 times. Okay? And that's where we get 18 feet. And don't forget to label. All right. The formula for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Find the radius if circumference equals 19 pi. So we're trying to find the radius. We know that circumference equals 2 pi r. They're saying c equals 19 pi. So we're trying to solve for r right here. And to do that, we would need to divide. And we would divide by the 2 pi to get all those off. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. The pi's cancel, and you're left with 19 over 2 equals r. And we can either leave it like that, or if you wanted to find the decimal, 2 goes into 19 9 times. Bring down the 0. So we would get 19 over 2, or 9.5 units for r. Okay? All right, let's flip it over. A little bit longer problems for the back. Now it says Stuart wants to put up a rectangular safety fence around his backyard. Okay, so rectangular safety fence. He calculates that he will need 120 feet fencing that will be 4 feet longer than the width. Find the width, or find the length of the safety fence. So there we go. This is his nice little fence, okay? His backyard is all right here. And now what they're telling us the area is 120. But then we need to know what the length is and what the width is. So it says the length will be 4 feet longer than the width. Okay, so the width, if that's x, so here's x, the length needs to be 4 feet longer than that. So that's where the x plus 4 comes in. Okay, so 120, that's the perimeter. Okay, I already wrote the a down, but that's supposed to be perimeter because we're talking about the outside. Okay, so when we're finding perimeter, we have to add up all of the sides. So that would be x plus 4 plus x plus x plus 4 plus x. Okay, and that's all going to equal 120. Let's add up everything that's the same. You get 4x plus 8 equals 120. And now all we do is solve for x. Subtract 8 to both sides. We get 4x equals 112. I divide both sides by 4. And if you don't know that with your multiplication chart, we have to divide that out. 4 goes into 11 2 times. Bring down the 2. 4 goes into 32 8 times. So x equals 28. Ooh, but what was that? Is that the length or the width? Because we need to know what they both are. Looking at our key over here, the width is 28 feet. The length is plus 4, so that means that has to be 32. Okay, now it might look like it's a lot to do, but it's really not that bad. You just have to pay attention to what it says in the problem. All right, Maria wants to make a rectangular garden in her backyard. It takes 46 feet of fencing to enclose it. Okay, so same thing as last time. We got all this fencing going around her garden, and the garden's inside. Okay, now let's read what it says. The length will be 1 foot less than 3 times the width. Okay, so we need to know the length and the width. They don't tell us the width, so that means it's going to be x. Okay, now let's take a look at this. 1 foot less than 3 times the width. Okay, so 3 times the width, and it's less than that by 1. Okay, and now we know that the perimeter equals 46. So now we're going to do the same thing as we did in the last one. We need to go all the way around. So we know the width is x, the length is 3x minus 1, and we write all that down. So 3x minus 1 plus x plus 3x minus 1 plus x, and all that is going to equal 46. Okay? Let's combine all the like terms. And we should get 8x minus 2 equals 46. Now, I think from here, you guys should be able to solve it. So I want you to pause the video and finish the problem. Okay, going through and solving, we get that x equals 6. So there's my width. And now, off the top of my head, I couldn't really do the 3x minus 1 to find out what the length was. So I plugged in 6, and then we get 17. Okay? So that's it for Algebra 2, Chapter 3.5 Notes, Part 1. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself because we would love to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys.